Hello dear students, this is Tushar Singhal. Today we are going to discuss very important topic, that is Newton-Leibniz theorem. This topic is related to definite integration. This topic generally asked in competition exams like IIT JEE, NDA and BITS Plani. Okay, what is Newton-Leibniz theorem? What is the concept of Newton-Leibniz theorem? What type of questions asked in JEE mains and advanced, that we will discuss in very detail. Okay, let's start the class. Let's start the Newton-Leibniz theorem. Okay, first of all I will tell you the basic concept of Newton-Leibniz theorem. Okay, if there is a integration like this, fx x square sin t dt. Okay, here is an integration. Here are two variables x and t. In this question we can clearly see there is a two function x and t, both are variables. Why? Because there are fx, so x will be variable. Here is dt, so t also be variable, right? So in this condition we can easily find out f dash x by using Newton-Leibniz theorem. According to Newton-Leibniz theorem, we can simply put upper limit here, that will be sin x square. Okay, and then we have to multiply by the differentiation of upper limit, that will be 2x. Now we have to place minus sign. Then again we have to put lower limit, that will be sin x, and again we have to multiply by the differentiation of lower limit, that will be 1. Okay, so f dash x will be x square into sin x square, 2x into sin x square minus sin x is the final answer. This is very basic question, or this is the basic concept of Newton-Leibniz theorem. Generally we use Newton-Leibniz theorem when there are variable limit. Okay, let's come to the questions. First question is 0 to x. If 0 to x ft dt equal to x plus this, then we have to find the value of f1. So what we have to do? Simply we have to differentiate both sides. Now put lower limit, upper limit as it is in the function in place of t. Now we have to multiply with the differentiation of upper limit, that will be 1 minus 0, that is f0, differentiation of 0 will be 0. Now for RHS we have to differentiate of x, that will be 1. Now we have to put upper limit, that will be 1 f1. Now we have to put lower limit, that is minus x fx. There are some mistakes. First of all we have to put upper limit, then also we have to differentiate of upper limit. Differentiation of 1 will be 0 in this condition. Okay, differentiation of x will be 1 in this condition, right? Now simply solve. That will be 0, because here is 0, it will also be 0. Now remaining function is fx equal to 1 minus x fx, right? Now okay, now we have to take common fx. So in this condition fx is 1 upon 1 plus x. Now we have to find the value of f1. So simply we have to put the value of x equal to 1 in this final equation. If you put x equal to 1, then answer will be 1 by 2. This question of previous year JEE mains. Okay, now we are moving to another questions. It is also question of previous year JEE mains. What is the question? Also there is a variable limit in integration sin x to 1 t square ft dt 1 minus sin x for all x belong to 0 to pi by 2. then we have to value of f1 by root 3. Okay, let's start the question. First of all, by using Newton-Leibniz theorem, if there is a variable limit in integration, then we can apply Newton-Leibniz theorem, and according to Newton-Leibniz theorem, first of all we have to put upper limit in the function. We have to put 1 in place of t, that is 1 square f1, differentiation of 1 will be 0. Now put sin x, that is sin square x into f sin x, and simply we have to differentiate of lower limit. Sin x, differentiation of sin x will be cos x. Same, if we differentiate left side, mathematics rule, then we have to differentiate right side also. Differentiation of 1 will be 0, differentiation of minus sin x will be minus cos x. It is very simple. Now it will be 0. Now we will get the value of f1 by root 3 in a very simple way. Okay, now calculate. Cos x cancel out. Here is minus is also cancel out. That will be f sin x equal to 1 upon sin square x. So function in terms of sin x is 1 upon sin square x. Now we have to find the value of f1 by root 3. So if we put sin x is 1 by root 3, then it will be f1 by root 3. It is very simple. Now sin x is 1 by root 3, then it will be 1 upon root 3 whole square, that will be 3. That is the final answer. Okay, so final answer of this question is 3. Now we are moving to another question. It is also a very good question, very conceptual question. What we have to do? Again, it is simply based on Newton-Leibniz theorem. Why? Because here is an variable limit. If there is a variable limit in definite integration, then it will definitely solve by Newton-Leibniz theorem. Okay. Now simply apply Newton-Leibniz theorem. We have to put upper limit, that is x square 1 plus x into fx square 1 plus x. Okay, I am so sorry. We have to put the upper limit in place of t, that is x square 1 plus x. Okay, now we have to multiply by the differentiation of upper limit. Upper limit is basically x square plus x cube. So in this condition, differentiation of x square plus x cube will be 2x plus 3x square. Now if you put 0 here, then it is 0, f0, and differentiation of 0 is 0. So it is very understandable. Then we can put 0 here, right? Differentiation of x on right side will be 1. Now x square 1 plus x is 1 upon 2x plus 3x square is the final function. Now simply we have to find the value of f2. Now by observation we can check, we can consider x equal to 1. If we put x equal to 1, then it will becomes 2. If we have to find the value of f0, then we have to simply put the value of 0, x equal to 0 or x equal to minus 1. But we can't put x equal to 0 here, because in this condition denominator becomes 0. Ignore it. We have to find the value of f2. Simply we have to put the x equal to 1, for which that will becomes f2. 1 upon 2 plus 3 will be the final answer. Yeah, means 1 upon 5 will be the final answer. So value of f2 will be 1 by 5. Okay. Another question of Newton-Leibniz theorem, that is also very good. fx is a differentiable and 0 to 2x t square x fx dx equal to 2 by 5 t raised to power 5, right? Then we have to find the value of f4 by 25. Again I am saying, if there is a variable limit, in definite integration, then we have to simplify by using Newton-Leibniz theorem. And according to Newton-Leibniz theorem, first of all we have to put upper limit in the function, then we have to multiply with the differentiation of upper limit and same process for lower limit. So simply put upper limit in place of x, that will be t square ft into 2t 0 into f0, differentiation of 0 will be 0, differentiation of right side will be 2 by 5, 5 are 4, right? Now it will be 0, it is very simple. Now that is 2t cube ft, that will be 2t raised to power 4. We can simply cut 2, ft will be t raised to power 4 upon t cube, that will be t, right? Now we have to find the value of f4 by 25, f4 by 25, I think there is some mistake, that will be ft square, okay? For 4 by 25 we have to put, we can put t equal to minus 2 by 5 or plus 2 by 5. So in this condition, if we put minus 2 by 5 plus 2 by 5, in this condition plus minus 2 by 5 will be the final answer, okay? Now we are moving to another question, another very good question. This is also based on limit, okay? In first view it is very confusable question, because here is limit and also integration sign and with variable limit. So I am writing this question in a understandable form. What is the easiest form of this question? Limit extending to 0. Here is dt. So we have to integrate with respect to dt. Here is limit extending to 0. So in respect of limit, x is also variable. In respect of dt, t is also variable, okay? So now what we have to do? 0 to x square sine root t dt upon x cube, okay? Now simply in the limit questions, that is the concept, if there is a question of limit, then first of all we have to put the value of limit, right? We have to check whether it is form 0 by 0, infinite upon infinite. There are 7 indeterminate form, okay? First of all we have to check the form. If we put 0 here, then 0 to 0. If we integrate anything 0 to 0, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, then it will be 0. If we put limit extending to 0 in denominator, then it will also be 0, okay? So it is an 0 by 0 form. Now in 0 by 0 form there is a limit formula by which we can solve 0 by 0 limit. Its name is L'Hopital rule, L'Hopital rule, right? So according to this rule we have to differentiate numerator and denominator till the 0 by 0 form vanish, right? So simply apply L'Hopital rule, by which if you apply L'Hopital rule, then we have to differentiate in numerator. If we differentiate numerator, then it will be applicable for Newton-Leibniz theorem. And what is Newton-Leibniz theorem? We have to put upper limit, okay? Upper limit as it is in the function, that will be sin x, differentiate of upper limit, lower limit sin 0 into 0 upon 3x square, upon 3x square. X से x cancel out, right? That is 2 sin x upon 3x. Sin x upon x will be 1, so answer will be 2 by 3. Sin x upon x will be 1, so answer will be, in this condition, will be 2 by 3. Now we are moving to another question. Same type of question in which limit is given, integration with variable limit is given, right? First of all we have to put the limit 0 by 0, because if we put 0 here, then numerator will be 0, 0 to 0, integration anything, that will be 0, and denominator is also 0. It is very clear. Now again apply L'Hopital rule, and if we apply L'Hopital rule, then we have to apply Newton-Leibniz theorem. What is Newton-Leibniz theorem? Upper limit as it is differentiation of upper limit 0, differentiation of lower limit, right? Again differentiate it, that is t sin t cos t plus sin t into 1. I am using the product rule, first into second. It is very simple. Now simply we have to solve the limit of this question. Now this question becomes of limits only. Okay, 1 cos t plus sin t upon t. Sin t upon t will be 1, cos 0 is 1, so answer will be 1 by 2. Answer will be 1 by 2 in this condition. Okay. Now another question. These all our questions are asked in JEE mains and advanced in previous years. Okay, I have not mentioned the year, but all questions are asked in JEE mains and advanced. Same concept. If you put 0 here, then numerator is 0. If you put 0 in denominator, then denominator is 0. So simply we have to apply L'Hopital rule, and when we apply L'Hopital rule, then simply we have to apply Newton-Leibniz theorem, right? Limit x tending to 0, if you put differentiative 1 minus upper limit as it is, differentiation of our limit is 1, lower limit as it is, differentiation of lower limit is 0. Okay, in denominator 3x square minus 6, 0 is 0, so it will be 0. One minus cos x square upon 3x square minus 6. Now it is not 0 by 0 form. It is not 0 by 0 form. What? Simply if you put 0 here, then numerator will be 0, because cos 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, but denominator is minus 6. So answer will be in this condition 0 upon minus 6. So answer will be 0. Okay. That is the concept of Newton-Leibniz theorem. That is your homework question. Okay, and this is your homework question that you can do by using Newton-Leibniz theorem. Okay, I am doing this question also. Same question. If you put x square, then it will be sec square x square, differentiation of x square will be 2x, then will be 0, no issue. Simply differentiate of denominator also, that will be x into cos x plus sin x into 1. Now it is very simple, we have to solve the limit only. Sec square x square, simply we can divide by x, that will be cos x, that will be sin x upon x. 2 is here, it is a constant. If you apply limit, then sec 0 is 1, so it will be twice into 1, denominator is 1, sin x upon x is 1, that we know by using limit. So 2 by 2, 1 will be the final answer. Okay students, this is the whole concept of Newton-Leibniz theorem, and Newton-Leibniz theorem is very important theorem for JEE mains, JEE advanced, BITS, PLANI, NDA and other competitive exams. Okay, so it is the whole concept that we will discuss. Please try to do more questions of Newton-Leibniz theorem, and you can solve all the Newton-Leibniz theorem in a very simple manner by using all these concepts. Thank you.